You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, explaining the possibilities in your love life and examining your mantourage dating experiences. I am here to help you do life and love on your terms by tipping the scales of love permanently in your favor. So don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, and let's get started. Hey there, single smart female. It's your romantic fairy godmama coming to you today with a single smart female listener question. Now, this listener question comes all the way from the incredible country of Australia, and Miss Dick Mesmerized, love that name by the way, writes, Dear Jen, I'm 42, single parent, no desire for marriage or more kids, just to be loved. He's 34 and we've been dating 6 months, seeing each other once a week. We go on dates, I've met his friends once, we've messaged most days. He initiates 80% of the time, wishing me good morning, asking about my day, sharing details and photos from his day. Mostly he's sweet and thoughtful. Our physical connection is fire. Insane. Best ever. He's not very expressive and admitted to me he struggled with this early on. A few weeks ago, he said he had never had a proper relationship, and I asked why. He tentatively said relationships are drama, and I don't want to be accountable to anyone. I want to do what I want to do. So, while our situation looks and feels like a relationship, in many aspects, clearly he doesn't see it that way and potentially never will. Sad face emoji. Since meeting this chap, I have, in parentheses, discreetly dated 20 men. Seen a few times, but nothing to this connection level. I have a full and active life independently, but my feelings are getting stronger beyond my control, and I am hyper-focusing on him, getting increasingly anxious about where I stand. Do I have a conversation about being exclusive, knowing he never will, or just end it before I fall in love and get heartbroken? Okay, Miss Dick Mesmerized. So let's start with the number one thing that you've already admitted to and is very evident through everything that you're talking about is the hyperfocus. Yes, you are in a classic state of hyperfocus. So how does hyperfocus happen? A couple of ways. The first way being that he ticked something below the belt that you haven't felt in years that made you feel like a woman to the extreme and really set you into your femininity and that connection, that physical connection. That's number one, but that's not what keeps the hyperfocusing going. The hyperfocusing goes when he actually triggers an insecurity, which he did by telling you he doesn't know if he wants a relationship because he doesn't want to be accountable to anyone. So what happens then? Well, your hyperfocus has been triggered. It's set on your insecurity about whether or not this will ever turn into anything as you become more vulnerable and have this insane connection with him. Are you just going to be pining after him forever? So all of a sudden, the incessant thoughts go and everything keeps going. And you then say that your feelings are becoming beyond your control. Okay, here's where we stop. This part is BS. This is a narrative we tell ourselves as women so that we don't have to be accountable for the crazy feelings that we have that follow. Okay? And this is something as women, we have to stop pretending like we are, for lack of a better word, victim to. Yes, we have feelings. Yes, sometimes I feel a little crazy, but crazy feelings only keep going and obsessive feelings keep going if you're giving them an outlet through your actions. And my guess at this point is that you're not truly investigating your mantourage. So something came up when you said discreetly dating 20 men, and that, kind of initiated a response in me. What exactly does she mean by that? Does she mean that she finds mantourage dating to be shameful on some level, that she doesn't deserve to explore her options? Does it mean that she was just making sure he didn't find out because she's super worried about what his response to it will mean? There's so many different things to unpack in all of that it's really important that you consider before you proceed forward with any of this. So what's shameful, except for the idea we give to it? What's shameful, if this is indeed part of it, about exploring your romantic options? Have we not come far enough as women that we deserve to do that? I know as women, we say we can sleep with whomever we want, but actually exploring your romantic options is actually a much different concept, okay? Because it gives us access to who we are as women and what we truly want. Now, I also want to swing back and say here that I have no desire for marriage or more kids. You said this in your submission, just to be loved. Okay. It's perfectly okay to not desire marriage. It's definitely okay not to desire more kids, because as amazing as they are a ton of work. But what really bothers me is the whole just to be loved. You didn't say, I want to be in a loving relationship. And there's a hint of desperation there. Yeah, we all want to be loved, but you, if you decide to become an adored woman, actually deserve a lot more. And you can claim a lot more, which is to be in a relationship and be loved by somebody that you feel the same about. And that's a completely different dynamic, a different place to mantourage date for, and a different place to enter a relationship from. So, and then I want to swing it back to, and this is just a side note. This isn't, this is something I talk with my clients about sometime. We start to get these ideas and we say a lot that we don't want marriage. And you do, like I said, you do not have to want marriage. It is perfectly okay. I did not want marriage for a good period of time once I left my first marriage and then I met my current husband. And that's perfectly okay. But I also want you to think, what if marriage meant all the things that you wanted it to mean? Okay? And then decide from that place if you actually want marriage, not based on all the ideas society has for it and all the ideas that maybe your past history has for it. Decide from a place of what you really want in a perfect scenario, and then proceed with all of your dating experiences, and then eventually relationship, and then eventually marriage if that's what you want from there, and not based on everybody else. That's how you start to eliminate a lot of the insecurity that we're feeling on the inside as women, by really sinking into the things that we want, okay? Now, I know a lot of you are going to come back and say, but I really want him and only him. And you asked me, should I have a conversation about being exclusive, knowing that he never will, or will just end it before I fall in love and get heartbroken? It sounds like you're setting yourself up to definitely fail here. And instead of embracing the beautiful concept of mantourage dating and continuing to date until you have the relationship you want, whether it's him asking you, men come around on things all the time, but a lot of times we as women, we want to make sure we don't get hurt so badly instead of enjoying the process and upping the talent in our mantourage, which, by the way, that's one of your big things here. You don't have enough decent talent in your mantourage, and which is another piece of your hyper focus. And you're not giving other men a fair opportunity. That is a guarantee in this scenario that you have put together. But if we don't understand as women, our power now is about being able to explore the options, and that we hinge all of our romantic success on that one person, we're going to set ourselves up to fail again and again and again. And this is another version of not creating space for an amazing man to come into your life. So if it's not working out with him right this minute, which it's not, because he just said he's not ready for a relationship. Again, that could definitely turn around. The only thing that means, it doesn't mean you need to have a conversation with him. It means that you need to up the talent in your mantourage and turn your attention to them as well, instead of just hyper-focusing on him, and confirming your hyper-focus and your insecurity by keeping your attention there instead of really, truly exploring all the incredible men that are out there. And don't tell me that there aren't incredible men. That's a whole bunch of hogwash that we women come up with because we won't learn how to date. We won't learn how to show up differently that teaches men to honor us and respect us and cherish us. We base everything on physical initial chemistry, and we're lying to ourselves over and over again because honestly, we're truly scared of having what we want romantically. We're not comfortable with that idea, and it's time as women that we become more comfortable. With all of that said, it's time to learn how to receive. It's time to learn how to step into your femininity and not just, crap ideas about femininity, meaning you have to wear this or put this lipstick on or it looks like that. It means the essence of learning how to receive, of being comfortable with vulnerability, of having good boundaries, and learning to put all of those pieces together and learning to appreciate and love men and teach them the ways that we desire to be treated without being excessively aggressive about it. There's definitely a way to do that through Mantourage Dating. So I want you to go to mantouragedating.com and get my free 3-day class to start this process and to learn how to rework everything and then rewire your mindset so that you can create the love life that you want and get comfortable having everything that you want. With all of this said, I want to drive home this point about hyperfocus, ladies. A little while back, I received this email from another single smart listener that I'd like to share with you. It says, "Dear Jen, in 2017, I went through a difficult divorce and was left at age 40 as a single mom with a 2-year-old. I'd always been super confident, but always dated the wrong guys. As a newly single woman, I turned to internet dating to find someone to spend time with, but every time I thought I met a great guy, it just wasn't right. Then I discovered your podcast. Your view on dating was so spot on, such an aha moment. No hyperfocus, no chasing people, just Mantourage dating. It was such a damn light bulb moment, and it changed my life. While Mantourage dating, I was able to focus on my business, building a business from 1 client and 1 employee to over 3,000 clients and 8 employees in 3 years. Then, on one date, I met a guy who was exactly what I would have written about. Tall, Scottish, owned his own business, loved animals, cooked, sparks, and we met for our first date and I really liked him. But I followed your podcast advice. I kept Mantourage dating and we only went out 1 night a week, but he couldn't make the time according to him. So I said, no worries. Let me know when you may have more time. Little did I know that he was actually very interested, but his friends all said don't date someone with kids. In the past, I would have hyper-focused, tried harder, wondered what I was doing wrong, not what I was doing wrong, but wonder what was wrong with me, that he had disappeared. Not this time. I kept Mantourage dating, kept meeting great guys and going on great dates. And then 3 months later, he sent a text saying he couldn't stop thinking about me. Did I drop everything? Nope. I said it was great to hear from him, but that I wasn't available until a month later, which was true because I wasn't canceling anything else for this guy. We had our first real date, quote unquote, on October 14th. And by January, he was flying me to Scotland to meet his family. He is amazing with my daughter, treats me like an adored woman, and I could not have done it without you. We have been together 1.5 years and couldn't be happier. My business is now $1 million business because I never took my eye off the prize. All because I was a devoted listener to your podcast. I can't thank you enough for opening my eyes to a way of dating that makes sense and really works. I tell all of my single girlfriends to just try it. I have been meaning to write you forever and just wanted to say thank you for putting your knowledge into a podcast for women like me. You absolutely rock. Thank you so much. That thank you is actually from me for such a wonderful and kind note. But more importantly, I want you ladies to understand all this. Mantourage dating is much more than just a formula. There is a lot of nuances to it, things that I go into with my clients. But if you're just pulling from the podcast at this point, what you really need to understand is that this hyper-focus piece is the death of any relationship potential. And that's what women have the hardest time with. So if you have to listen to this podcast today several times, do it. Understand that you're reinforcing the potential for hyperfocus with your habits and what you do and your unwillingness to learn how to mantourage date. The truth is that you deserve, like I mentioned, to have an incredible romantic life, but nobody is going to hand it to you. Nobody is going to say, no man is just going to show up and make it all better, because it's an inside job. Long-term love is always an inside job, and you are the only one with the capacity to unlock and release all the bullshit and make space for the things that you truly want romantically. Okay, lover girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. Hyperfocus on a specific man is completely under your control, especially when you quit lying to yourself saying that he is the only one that can make you feel this way. Hey, lover girl, don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share this episode with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you're still confused about all the pieces of mantourage dating that you were probably forgetting, then head over to Jen Burton, that's JENNBURTON.com/secret society to learn everything mantourage dating includes. Remember, mantourage dating is not casual dating. It's not a rotation nor a cycle, and it is woman specific. Mantourage dating and becoming an adored woman is a lifestyle dating system that addresses you as a whole woman, including your success and ambition. It simultaneously serves as the best relationship training that exists. Meet me at jenburton.com/secret society. Again, that's Jen, JENNBURTON.com/secret society for a free video explaining all the pieces you need to include in your experience.